Mama se kungi betengo we kumoyi ingumada takana okyo sokinu kibangase Manuele ngando mushisamye Manuele.
Hey everyone, welcome to episode 47 of the Two Left Feet Podcast. On today's episode, we had on the amazing, the incredible, the spectacular Hijos De Catrachos, Gutierrez and Joshua Adams. On this episode, man, we spoke about so much. They both hail from Honduras, so we talk about, what it was like growing up in Honduras, what it was like growing up in New Orleans, what it was like, their beginning stage, learning salsa and everything, man. Great episode, man. I love what they're doing. They're doing so much for the salsa scene in New Orleans, man. I am so happy to have them on the show. I don't want to delay anymore. Let's just get right into the episode.
So hello, everyone. Welcome to episode 48 of the Two Left Feet Podcast. I'm your host, Terrence Greer, joined by my guest, Francesca Pena.
Hey, y'all.
And today, we are blessed to have on the show the Los Hijos De Catrachos.
Ya tú sabes.
So I'm going to butcher your name, man.
Oh, Lord, here we go.
But I'm going to try to say it as best I can.
Don't follow his example, y'all.
Genaro Gutierrez.
Hey, not bad.
All
Not
right,
bad.
and Joshua Adams, you got the easy one.
Nah.
Joshua Adams, Hijos De Catrachos.
Oh, okay. Excuse me.
Yeah, like, make sure you say it right now.
How y'all doing today, man?
We good, man. We good.
All right.
I mean, excited to be here. Appreciate you having
so
us,
glad y'all
man.
came through, man. I'm so glad.
Honor's ours, man.
Yeah. So, if I'm not mistaken, I tried to do a little bit of research.
Okay.
Y'all both from Honduras, correct?
Yes, sir.
I really want to know. I've never been to Honduras. Tell me, what is that like? What was it like living there?
It's tropical.
Okay.
Very poor.
Okay.
But, I mean, it's fun. If you're just looking for nothing too, like, New Yorkish or even, like, nothing too, I guess, if you're looking for something more islandy, yeah, that's what you want, man. Okay. I was born in San Pedro Sula, which is the city part of Honduras, but I was raised in Trujillo, which is basically like going from New Orleans and being raised, let's say, in Galliano or somewhere in the boot. You know what I mean? So I was born in the city, but raised in the, not really country because it's next to the beach, right?
Okay.
So I was born by the beach. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So that's Trujillo. And then I came to the U.S. around 93, 94.
How old were you?
I was, wow, you got to ask my mom that.
Okay.
I was about 4 or 5,
okay,
right?
Okay,
4 or 5. I was real young.
Yeah, okay.
And for a while I was going back and forth. And then till not until after Katrina is when I started staying here permanently. I didn't go back and forth anyway. So,
I want to get into all that, man. But and Joshua, what about you, man? How was it for you?
I was actually born in New Orleans.
Oh, okay.
But I am Honduran descendant, and every summer I went to Honduras.
Oh, okay.
So for me, it was a different experience because though I went to live over there every summer, and I lived with my grandma, it, like he says, for me it was like, we both were from San Pedro, but I was raised in Choloma, which is like New Orleans to Kenner.
Okay, that's not too far then, right?
Yeah, it's like it's where like all the jobs are. It's where the hardworking people, but it's not like the city.
Okay.
So it was a little bit of a different experience because I got up, ate baleadas, but I was like a long summer vacation apart from him living there.
Yeah. I definitely understand that, man.
yes, sir.
I want to ask, Genaro, tell me about your childhood, man. What was that like, growing up there, or what you remember?
Well, I remember when we first got to this country, I was still very young. I know when my mom got started here, she wanted to she got us here just to get us here, give us we stayed for about a couple months, and then she brought me and my brother back to Honduras, and we stayed there for about a year and a half while she got her stuff together here. So she got a job, she was living with my grandfather, and she wanted to stack up money because she didn't want us all in one household, right? So she wanted us to kind of be able to do our own thing and be free. So we stayed in Honduras. We stayed with my grandmother for about a year and a half, maybe two. I'm not too clear on that. I do remember going to pre-K and first grade in Honduras. That was different. That was different. Because I was just still trying to figure out this language thing, right? Because remember, I was here at 4 or 5 in a country that they only speak English.
Right.
And then literally a couple months later, I'm going back to Honduras where they only speak Spanish.
Okay.
So the language thing, I was still trying to figure that out, right?
So, are you bilingual? Yeah.
I am bilingual.
Okay, what's
yes.
up? I mean, that's what it was, man.
right. So I was still trying to figure that out at the time. And yeah, I did pre-K first grade there. And then I remember one time where my grandmother put me and my brother to sleep, and then around 9, 10 o'clock, my grandmother, woke us up, like kind of urgent, like, yo, I need you to wake up. So I'm thinking, I don't know, they got roaches in the house or something. I don't know, man. It looks something crazy, like, all right, what's going on, So she gets up, she wakes us up, and then she runs us to the living room, right? And it was very dark. And then I remember walking into the living room, and the lights flickering on, right? Or she turned on the lights, and my mom was there with like this, just a bunch of presents, right? Because remember, I haven't seen her in about a year because she was here making money to get her own apartment, or us an apartment, right? So we were all like, oh, we're so excited. Mom, I haven't seen you forever. How you been? I almost forgot who you were, You know what I mean? So that was awesome. Yeah. She stayed with us for about 2 weeks, and then she got us out of school, packed us up, and then brought us back here to the U.S. Permanently? Yeah, permanently. Mm-hmm. And she enrolled us in school. That was fun, right? Because remember, I'm just coming back from Honduras again with the language thing, right?
So how did she? I got a lot of questions, but like, why did she? How did she get citizenship? I'm curious.
She got basically grandfathered in because my grandfather or her dad already lived here in the States for years, right? She just, I guess, decided to, when my grandfather had my mom, she just stayed in Honduras the whole time with my mom.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And then not until we were born, which she was 24, I guess you do the math, July 31st, 89, a couple years after that, she brought us back here. She wanted a better life because, like I said, it wasn't as rough as it is now because, Honduras got kind of a rough thing going on right now. Not as bad as Venezuela or any of that, but it's still rough, right? Yeah. So she saw that going on, and she didn't want that for us, right? So she brought us here to the States. She called up my grandfather and was like, yo, I want you to help us out. I want to go to the United States and live there with my kids, but I'm not going without my kids, right? So he was like, he agreed, and he made that happen, right? So we did that, and so we started going to school 2003, 2004, elementary school in New Orleans, right?
Real quick, why did your mom pick New Orleans of all places?
Maybe because that's where my grandfather was. It could have been New York. It could have been anywhere.
That's where the family was.
Right, exactly. Mm-hmm. It could have been anywhere. Yeah. So again, the language thing. I remember struggling with English because I didn't know English. Right, I didn't know.
She's the same way, man.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember struggling with English. I remember kids kind of like picking on me because I didn't understand, or they didn't understand me. You know what I mean? So it was just a struggle. So I remember doing ESL for about 2 or 3 years. Not until I started watching like the English cartoons, like Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. So I really started picking it up. And then Honduras soccer is really big. They play here a little bit. It wasn't as big as it is now, but I started playing soccer. Started getting to know friends that spoke my language, and then they helped me with the English. Nice. And that's how.
That's
cool.
What I'm saying.
That's
awesome, man. That's awesome.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask you, Josh, man. What was your childhood like growing up in New Orleans, man?
Ghetto.
He's not half wrong. I actually was raised in the West Bank.
Okay.
So
I don't know about that.
I lived in Westwicca, so that's a whole different topic of its own. That's like a whole different country. It was very different. Also, like Nayo, we were poor, but in the U.S.
Yeah, it was different.
It's way different. Like in the U.S., you have way more opportunities than Honduras. So opportunity to grow, like it's not likely you'll go hungry. There's like there's a lot of programs that my family utilized. But for us, for the most part, I was a very happy child. I didn't have a bad childhood. My parents provided what they could for me. They didn't make the most money, but they worked hard to give me what they needed.
Yeah.
So it was good. It was It was very living in Oswego was very different. I know no one back from the old days.
Okay.
All my friends are from college and above.
Okay. I'm curious, man. You know, you said you were going back and forth between, you know, Honduras and here.
Mhm.
I guess, you know, how did that affect you? How did that, like, you know, shape you as a person? Because, you know, you seeing Honduras, which is different than, you know, New Orleans. So what was that like?
How it shaped me?
I guess it's seeing the differences, you know, from New Orleans to Honduras.
You know, the main difference is, man, I'm going to tell you, Hondurans because I grew up seeing that people were appreciated way more. I'd go back to Honduras, I would bring back in the old day ring pops.
Okay,
Tootsie Rolls.
I remember ring pops. Yeah, sure enough, yeah.
All those things, I would bring them back, and the kids would be like, "Oh my God, this is like a gold. This is like a jewelry.
Yeah.
This is the best thing in the world." So you would see appreciation from a young age. I already understood appreciation of food and all that. Like literally, one time, I went to a buffet. And I was like one of the old Mandarin houses as a kid, and I ate one plate, but I didn't finish it. I went and grabbed another plate. My mom brought me to the bathroom and used a chancleta.
Hold on, for people who don't speak Spanish, for me, what is a chancleta?
Chancleta
A belt?
is the
Sandal.
Oh, a sandal. She beat you because you didn't finish your plate?
Exactly.
Okay, sure enough.
Straight up.
And my mom, if she hit me, it was for a reason.
I understand.
It wasn't very
So
often.
your mom was from Honduras?
Yeah, she's Honduran.
Okay.
And so she showed me and my grandma, they had the biggest parts in raising me. Not only to appreciate life, food, clothing, but just overall like what I had, which was nice.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand
But
that, man.
as far as the shaping portion, like you could say I knew I was different at a young age, but I didn't know why.
I guess you. Yeah.
So
I want a toy truck. What? But Santa Claus. Oh, hold on 1 second, Santa Claus. I'll be right back. Hey, if you could leave a like and subscribe for the show, that would be amazing. Let's get back to the episode.
Yeah.
So
I'm curious, why did your mom move to New Orleans?
she moved to New Orleans because my aunt, her sister, she moved here, and my mom was like, you know what? I want a different life. Actually, back in the day, my mom was actually very wealthy in Honduras. My grandma had lots of businesses. But things happened to where my grandma sold the businesses, and my mom was like, you know what? Let me go start a new life in the U.S.
Yeah.
She came here, went to Delgado, took up ESL.
Okay.
And she eventually started working. I think she started off in business, but worked her way into cosmetology, facials, and then stayed here when she met my dad.
Okay, so I know. How did she get citizenship? How was she able to come over?
She actually, she was forced to go back for a little while.
Okay.
But after she met my dad went back and had helped her come in.
Okay, I understand. All right, so that's tough, man.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
Yeah, you come over here trying to make a better life, man. So I definitely understand that.
People don't realize how hard the process is to get it.
Especially like that test, man.
Oh,
I would not be able to pass that test, dude.
And I think, I don't know, at the time you have to wait a couple years. You have to wait like 7-8 years.
It was like
Before you get citizen?
Process, right?
I think it's like 10 years.
I think it's 10 years. Yeah.
Wow,
Yeah,
that's
you
a
have to wait a
process.
while.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah,
Because
so-
I was born here, I got it.
Right.
But my mom didn't get it until after I was born.
Okay.
Mm.
So it was
Yeah,
a
man.
lot different. Like she got her residency at I think like age 29, 28, but she didn't get that until like in her 30s.
Okay.
Right,
That's,
right.
Man, that's like something I take for granted, man. I was born here, so it's like
Right. You don't go through that.
No,
you know what I mean? You don't
man.
feel that.
I don't, man. I know it's a process, man. I
Yeah.
definitely understand that.
Yeah, definitely, man.
I'm curious, Nero. Nayo, I'm sorry.
It's all good.
What was it like? We say you moved here. You had to go through ESL. You getting bullied a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
What was your childhood like, though? Outside of for New Orleans.
I mean, besides the bullying, which wasn't too long, you know what I'm
Okay.
saying? I had to toughen up a little bit. It helped me a little bit, but besides that, I always felt like I was a very friendly, social guy. So really making friends wasn't too hard. Just find a common ground, which was soccer at the time.
Right.
And you know what I mean. Next thing you know, they're at my crib or I'm at their crib.
Okay.
You know, eating cookies and milk before we go play a game.
Okay,
you know what I
right,
mean.
yeah.
I was a goalie at the time. I didn't like being goalie, man.
Oh,
I ain't like balls coming at me.
I
You know what I'm saying?
understand.
Pause. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't like that. You know what I mean? But it was fun. It helped me adapt. It helped me. It almost actually forced me to speak Spanish because honestly, they had a lot of white and black kids playing soccer.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Real
saying?
quick, I just came to
Go
mind.
ahead, go ahead.
Doesn't New Orleans have like a big Honduran population?
It has a huge
That's
one.
what I thought.
It
I
has
thought
a
I heard
huge
that.
one.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah, okay.
Huge population. But at the time, most of the kids, most of the delanteros, which is the forwards, they were mostly white. The middle guys were black, and then the back, you know, the defenders were Spanish. You know what I mean? Sometimes, you know, they'll switch around, but it actually forced me to speak the language, to speak, you know, so I could communicate. Yo, I need you on the left because this guy's on, you know, he's free, nobody's on him. Or I need you on the right. Guy in the center, you know, he's always cherry picking, covering.
So I don't really, I watch soccer, but I don't know too much about it.
Okay.
It's like the goalie, like quarterback, I guess like the captain on the field or what?
Nah, the goalie is just the goalie. All his job is to stop the ball from getting the goal.
I love the World Cup, so I know a little bit.
Right.
Yeah.
The quarterback could be a defender.
What I mean is like
the
like
captain, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah.
It could be anyway. Whoever has the most leadership in the
Okay.
in the team.
I got you.
It could be the goalie.
I get you.
It could be the defender. It could be anybody.
I got you.
Right.
But I always say the goalie's like the most athletic one.
Right.
You have to be able to bounce. You have to be able to jump, run, stop.
I believe it. I definitely understand it.
Yeah.
They don't run as much as like the other people, but I feel you.
Right.
Yeah.
Mostly the center guys, because they have to be on their side of the field and our side of the field, defending and offense.
Yeah.
Right. So you got the defenders just playing defender, and you got the forwards just trying to score a goal. But you got the midfielders playing both sides of the ball.
Okay, those I see, man, dude. I watched them games, 90-minute, 45-minute.
Yep.
I'm like, y'all run crazy. So did you play in high school or like?
Yeah, I played elementary, middle school, high school, and even playground.
Okay.
So I just grew up just,
Hey, I throw that in
just
there?
everything, man.
Playground.
Look, playground, everything.
I thought you gonna say college.
It's a little bit in college, not too
Okay,
much, not
he
too
said
much. I was on a
playground.
different zone in college.
Ah.
Like, you know, it's too late. I'm already 20-something.
Okay,
In
so
soccer,
good.
that's considered old, kind of. So.
Oh, okay. I
mhm.
get you.
Yeah.
You got pros playing 16.
Oh, dude, yeah,
That's 16,
That's
yeah.
That's what the biggest sport outside the U.S., right?
Outside the U.S., yeah, soccer
man.
or football.
Yeah,
Mhm.
that's the original football. What about you, Josh? You play it all, or?
I actually learned how to play Honduras.
Okay.
That was when I mainly played.
Okay.
Unfortunately for me, I didn't have a choice but to be goalie.
Okay.
Because in I was taller than everybody.
Wow, that's
so
why.
like everybody else was like five. Like at the age of 13, I was 5'10".
Damn, that's crazy.
So everybody else was like 5'3", 5'4". I was like, oh, I guess I'll be goalie.
yeah.
I was like, I can reach the goalie with like before I'm moving.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, but yeah, I played mostly until the age of 16, and then I was fully academic.
Oh, okay. I get
Trying
you.
to focus on school.
I understand. Real quick, did y'all grow up in dancing households, or like, did your parents dance at all, or?
No, honestly, no. My mom, she had 2, 3, 4 jobs at a time, trying to
always
maintain
working.
two boys who were not always good boys. We always got in trouble in school. You always had girls, knocking on the door. They never came in because, she was home. But they always knocking on the door looking for us. So I didn't realize how hard it was for her until I kind of went out and did my own thing and moved on my own, you know what I mean? And kind of really, that's when I really appreciated the sacrifice.
That's what happens, man.
Mhm,
Yeah. Later on, you appreciate what they do for you, man.
Right.
I definitely understand that.
And if you didn't know, Nayo is a twin.
Okay, I was gonna ask, but I didn't know that.
Yeah. Everybody's like, when I say I have a brother, they're like, what? Because he never comes out. He's just like him. He's just all about school and work. That's it. He doesn't go out.
He's
He
in
doesn't
New Orleans
dance.
as well?
He's in New Orleans as well.
What?
Yeah.
I think that's good, man.
Right? Yeah,
They
man.
lived together as of a month ago, like forever.
I said you recently got married, right?
I recently got married.
Congratulations,
Yes, I did.
man.
Thank you.
That's
Appreciate it.
All
Appreciate
right.
it. Thank
So
you.
you left him home. He said, "I gotta,
Yeah,
man.
I gotta bounce.
I
bro.
understand,
Hey, bro,
man.
I gotta be an adult.
So
man.
has he ever come to one of the socials or nah?
He did one time in Houston.
Okay.
I don't want to say I forced him, but I was like, he's never really traveled too much because, like I said, it's all about school and work. That's it.
Okay.
Right? So he hasn't traveled since 2005 when we went to Honduras. That's the last time he traveled. So recently, maybe a year maybe a half a year ago, maybe a year ago, I took him to Houston because I'm always traveling and dancing and stuff. So I took him to Houston to one of the Sarrica socials, which is on Westheimer. Shout out to them. So I took him to one of those socials, and I was kicking everybody, saying with my boy Rizwan. He wasn't there at the time. I don't know where you was. I don't know where he was at. Probably New Orleans still, because this is before you started traveling, right? Yeah. So I took him to Houston, and before I got him in the door, I was like, this is how it goes down. This is how people do. This is a social. So I try to emphasize the word social because he's not very social. So I'm like, you go in and you talk to people. I know you don't know nobody, but you have to talk. You don't necessarily have to dance, but that's what we do. You know what I mean? So I kind of went through that process with him, and he wasn't very comfortable because, like I said, this was his first social. He doesn't dance.
Especially if you don't dance, man.
Yeah,
it can be kind of intimidating.
And honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I got warned. I got warned by about 4 different people. Not to like bring him because it's like I want him to kind of like know how I live. That this is my world. You know what I mean? Like, this is what I do when I'm not at home. You know what I mean? So I wanted to show him that this is fun. This is cool. You know what I mean? You can meet new people, make new friends, awesome friends.
Backfire or what?
Yeah, it kind of did. Yeah.
Why you say that?
Because he didn't look comfortable at first. He didn't dance now with one person. He knows the basic steps of bachata, but he didn't want to do it.
I understand.
Me, because I've been doing it for so long, I didn't understand why. I'm like, dude, you make friends. Like, this is awesome. Dance, have fun, enjoy life. Boom, boom.
Yeah.
He's just in a different mindset. So, while I'm dancing salsa, I asked my boy Rizwan, I'm like, yo, where my brother at? Yeah, he outside. I'm like, how long you been outside? He's like, I don't know, 30 minutes? I'm like, no, damn. 30 minutes? So I go outside, and he's like, yo, I just kind of want to go back to the Airbnb, just want to chill, maybe watch TV. And I'm like, so I sound like, did I do something? He's like, nah, you ain't doing nothing. It's just like, this ain't my scene. So I was like, well, I can't force nobody. Yeah. So, you know what I'm saying? So that's what it was. But that was his first time traveling besides...
Oh, because that was in Houston.
Yeah, that was in Houston.
Okay,
so he's never really been outside Louisiana since 2005.
Okay.
Did that, and then the social, that backfired.
Yeah. I understand. Man.
So, yeah, we're complete opposites.
That's what it sounds like, man.
Yeah, complete opposites.
Yeah.
The only thing we have in common is cartoons. We like Marvel, DC, you know what I'm saying, movies and stuff like that.
I don't keep up with it. Have y'all seen Endgame? Like,
yeah, I seen it.
Right,
no spoilers. I've seen it. Dope.
I don't really watch it, but I feel you. So
what?
You got it. I haven't seen the first one, honestly, man. So
what?
Yeah.
All right, we got to cut this, bro.
So what about you, Josh? Did your mother dance at all? Or
my mother did dance a little bit.
Okay.
My dad danced like a stereotypical dad.
A two-step or what?
Not even, man. If I can get a half step at that, it'd be, but no, mainly was my grandma. She, since I was a kid, she would do bachata merengue with me. Okay. Granted, it was like the bachata with a little hip hop. And it was no technicality, but that's who got me started.
Okay, sure enough.
And that and like little church parties, like quinceañeras and
I guess you. So, I want to get into what I'm saying, like when y'all first started dancing, I guess, and everything. But I'm curious, how did you both meet?
Wow.
It was way before dancing.
Okay. Way before dancing. Okay. This is when we were still going to frat parties. And
did y'all went to school together, or yeah?
No, we never went to school together. I went to Delgado.
I went to UNO.
Okay.
We met through other friends.
Specifically one.
Right. Yeah,
shout out Riz.
Nah, he New Orleans.
Nah, he's out of the country right now.
Okay,
Barcelona.
Yeah, he's from New Orleans. Originally from New York. Came to New Orleans and he moved to Houston. And now my boy's doing he saved up his money and now he's traveling the world.
Okay, nice. That's awesome. That's cool, man.
He's gone, I think, to something like 10 different countries in 4 weeks. Or maybe more. If I'm
not mistaken, you had a recent Euro trip as well, man, right?
I've had 3 Euro trips in the last year.
Oh, wow. Okay, I want to talk about that. We're going to get into all that. But tell me about how y'all met, though.
Like I said, this is way before dancing. We didn't even know what dancing was at the time, right? So I was cool. Me and like we talk about Rizwan, who I guess he's the glue of this right here, because because Rizwan as well went to UNO and got cool with him. They started hanging out, and me and Rizwan were already hanging out because we went to Meisler Middle School together and Grace King together, right? So it was just we were both just finished high school and college, doing our own thing. We met through him, right? So I kind of like did my own thing for a little while. Him and Rizwan got real close. As I'm coming back into this circle, right? Let's see. We were hanging out. We were going to the frat house was popping at the time. Just just going out, just hanging out.
Republic.
All that, man. And we were cool from there, right? You know what I'm saying? And then, like I said, I kind of like did my own thing for a while, and then I came back into the scene. So pretty much we met through let's say it was a huge group of us, right?
Okay.
It was me, him,
Paris, King, Dijon.
It was just a whole gang of us.
Blake.
What you mean, like frat parties, or what you mean?
Yeah. From just college, man.
Oh,
We just
okay,
met college, bro.
okay,
You know what I'm
sure
saying? I would be at my crib. Rizwan would be like, "Yo, we going out." I'll be like, "All right, cool. Where the meetup spot at?" I'll go meet him, and he'll be with him,
Okay,
Dejan, Chris. I mean, all of them. You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? We were all just a big old gang.
Yeah, we knew each other like that. Okay, sure enough.
Yep. Maybe 2 years before dancing.
No, but
More than that?
way more.
Yeah, see?
I met Rizwan when I was 21.
Right.
And so now it's going, and I met you shortly after. So we've been knowing each other a solid 7 years.
Right, yeah.
Okay.
It's been a minute, yeah.
Okay, sure enough.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I started dancing at 24.
Oh, wow.
So
How old are you now, man?
I'm 28 now.
Okay,
man.
sure enough. Sure
Mhm.
enough.
Only 4 years.
Yeah, that's crazy. And how old were we started?
So he was 24. I must have been 25 because I'm
Okay.
No, you were 26 when you started.
26. Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
All right.
uh-huh.
That's crazy,
Yeah.
man. I thought y'all been dancing a lot longer than that. man. And so what got y'all into it? How'd y'all get introduced?
Well, actually, like I said, when I got back into the circle, right? Because I did my own thing for a while. I started. What I mean by I did my own thing, I went to school for 2 years. Did my own. I started going to Delgado for surgical technician, right? So that's what I meant by like I kind of just went to school and did my own thing there, right? So when I got back into the mix, they were already 2-3 months ahead of me. More than that?
6 months.
About 6 months ahead of me, right? And I was like, my boy Riz was like, yo, you know what I'm saying? We started taking salsa classes.
Oh.
And I was like, me being an egoista, like just egotistic, right?
Yeah.
I was like, man, I'm Spanish. I ain't nothing to me, right?
Yeah.
Went to my first class, Aurelio class, right?
And so, Aurelio?
Aurelio, the Cuban.
I feel like that's familiar. Okay.
Yeah, uh-huh. He's known.
He's trained probably every good dancer in the
Yeah.
scene.
Is he
in
still
Oahu.
here?
He's still here.
He's still here. He's
Yep.
just not teaching right now. He's got personal things going on. So at the current moment, he's not. He's taking a little break.
Pretty much all the good dancers you see, like he said,
Yeah.
went through Aurelio.
We didn't have him on the
Me,
show, man.
him,
Dejan, Ruby,
Raquel, like everybody went through Aurelio, right? So he's like kind of like the grandfather of
Yeah.
how we got started, right?
I definitely gotta have him on the show, man.
So I went, yeah, definitely. So I went to my first salsa class, right? And I'm, like I said, I came in, I was like, man, I'm just sit and watch because I already got this, you know what I'm saying? Because I was doing my regular salsa, it was like the Cuban style, which, you know what I'm saying, step to the left,
Yeah,
backwards, step to the right, backwards, and that's all I knew. Thinking,
You do the basics now.
yeah, basic. Thinking I'm like, man, this ain't nothing, right? All right, so I was like, they got me to, kind of do the classes, right? So and then I really just started teaching. He put the terminology into it, right? He started like, this is latigazo and blah blah and all that.
You were doing casino? Is that what class? In Chufa?
Yeah,
Oh,
and
casino,
Chufa
okay.
and all that,
Okay.
right? So and this is like, so now we get into a partner work. See, I'm not used to the partner work he was teaching us. I'm used to just boom, boom, boom. That's it, right? He got us to do left turn, right turn, crossbody lead, and all that. And this is like Chinese to me now. I'm like, whoa,
Yeah.
Like, is this a basic salsa class or this like a professional team or something? Like, I didn't know the difference, man. So it really just like. Since my first class, man, I was just hooked, man. Because I was just like, man, this was hard, but this was awesome,
Yeah,
man. Like,
I know that feeling,
yeah, man.
I
It was
definitely
awesome.
feel it, man.
Yeah.
And so Josh, how did y'all get introduced then?
For me, it was a little bit of a different story. I took a salsa class actually in Silhouette. I was in for about a month. There's a lady named Miss Darlene. Not many people know her because she teaches more of the ballroom salsa. And after I took about a month, I let the guys know. I kept it for a secret because it was for me.
Yeah.
I actually had a hobby beforehand, but it wasn't fulfilling me like the hobby did for like.
Can I
4
ask what it
years.
was, man?
I was a pool player.
Yeah, I love pool, man. Pool was fun, man. I love pool.
Yeah, I had at 22, I was beating most people. I actually had an opportunity to go pro.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and it just didn't fulfill it anymore.
You start liking it?
It's not that. It was one of those that it's fulfilling while you do it, but after you got off the table, it's like nothing. Like you had to spend hours in a day doing it to feel good.
Okay.
While with salsa, you could do it, and all of a sudden, 3 days later, you still have that dance high.
Okay, so enough.
So I took this one class with Miss Darlene, let the guys know, and they were like, "Bro, why didn't you tell us?" We were actually been going to like Spanish clubs, and it was for a little while. I think maybe about a year, 2 years, and then I finally took my little class, and they started taking classes with Bianca.
San Martin?
Let's say San Martin.
Okay.
Bianca was teaching classes more regularly.
That was when she was obviously a lot younger. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But she's been dancing a lot longer than us.
She Urban was taking her to clubs when she was like a teenager.
Word?
We had her on the show.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she was
Okay,
she been
that's
dancing for
what's
a
up.
while, like you said.
Shout out
She's
Bianca.
been dancing, yeah. She's doing big things, but yeah, she's been dancing for a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's been. And they took classes with her, and then I found out. I forgot who told me, but I found out about Aurelio's class.
Okay.
And I told the guys, "Yo, I'm going to this class. I believe it was like a Tuesday or a Thursday." And I was like, "Yo, come with me." And it was 4 of us. It was me, Rizwan, Blake, and DeJean, all in that class, and we just kept going at it. Granted, they were able to go way more than me because I was in nursing school at the time. But we all kept going. I think we hit about 4 or 5 sessions, just kept going consistently.
Yeah. That's awesome, man.
Mm-hmm.
And so, you kind of, caught the bug, and from there you just, kept at it.
That was it, man.
Okay.
Murder She Wrote, bro.
Yeah, okay.
That was it.
And so tell me about this, man. I want to hear from both of y'all. What was it like learning salsa in those beginning stages?
Hard.
Yeah.
Stressful.
Very hard.
I think we all can relate to that, right?
So I really when I talk to people who are just getting started and are nervous to get on the dance floor and dance and get to talk to people, like I understand that. If it wasn't for Annalisa, you know what I'm saying, if it wasn't for her forcing me, if it wasn't for Annalisa, Raquel, and a couple other ladies really grabbing my hand and forcing me on the dance floor, I'd probably just still be sitting down just watching everybody. I mean, it is tough, man.
It is. Because you see, I guess, like, the other people's talent level, you're like,
right,
damn,
exactly.
Yeah.
I wanted to be like them, but I knew I wasn't there.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And I was like, I wanted, most new guys do this. Like, they want to be there, right? They want to be at that level, but they don't want to go out there and actually dance until they are at that level.
Feel perfect, right?
Exactly, and that's honestly the wrong way to go.
Right. I feel like that's probably like anything, though, right?
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? You really got to go out there and put yourself out there, man.
Kind of feel, right?
Exactly, because even if you learn how to do this in private, you still
different.
Because you haven't put yourself out there for people to watch you, you might have all the skills in the world, but psychologically people are watching you.
Yeah.
So you still not gonna go out there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So you really have to go out there as you're beginning, so you get both skill and the I guess the courage to have people watch you. Why? Because people are gonna watch you, man. No matter what you do.
Oh yeah.
People are afraid. Oh, I don't want people watching me. People are gonna watch you. You know what I mean? Even if either you've been doing this for a week or 15 years, people are gonna watch you. Man. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it was for me. If it wasn't for them forcing me out there to just dance, I wouldn't. You know what I mean? Yeah.
But I do want to say this.
Please.
Nayo has, and I tell him this all the time, he has more natural talent than almost anyone in the scene. I'm saying almost any because there are other people who have
how long? 2-3 years, man.
About 2, 3, 4
But this
years.
kid,
4 years, my fault.
That's good.
but this kid has so much natural talent. It's unreal. Like from the first time he hit the dance floor, I was like, this guy here. I'm over here looking like RoboCop, and this kid's just gliding on the table on the dance floor. I'm just like, all right.
So I mean, I feel like that has to contribute to your upbringing, right?
Yeah.
You probably listen to the music, maybe.
Oh yeah, because of my mom.
Yeah. So
yeah. Yeah, definitely. I guess because the Spanish background always had Spanish music in
and it makes it so much easier, man. When you have that music, you're familiar with the music.
Right. Because this is like unconsciously almost where you listen to so much salsa, bachata, reggaeton, reggae, hip hop, you almost unknowingly you know the 4 count or the 8 count,
Right.
or the 16 count.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Because you've been listening to it for so long. You once you put the counts with the music, it's like, oh, I've been knowing how to do this.
Yeah.
I just didn't know how to put it together until you taught me.
And so real quick, I think I just trying to like put this in like just regular people talk. You start to notice the patterns.
Yes, the patterns
in the music.
Yes,
and you grow up on it, man. So you have more time listening to that music,
right?
And without even knowing it, just picking up that pattern.
Just picking it up. All it takes is that one person to tell you how to do it, and it's like,
clicks.
I just been doing this.
Exactly.
You know
I understand that. Hey, real quick.
What's up?
Tell me about you, Josh. So, you first were learning salsa, or I guess dancing.
So the guys were picking, like I said, I would go in a month. They would go to 4 or 5 classes. I was going to 2. So I had to do more practicing when I was at the end of my studying, right before bed, when I was waking up. I had to do more off-time training. Okay. But then all of a sudden I would see him. I'm like, oh, crap. He did something with his arms. I don't know what he just did. That's very complicated. I was like, can you show it to me? So I had to do more of like let me figure this out on my own. But at the same time, whatever I would videotape in class, I would go over. Mine was big time on repetition.
Work, man.
Yeah, I tried. And I repeated and moved as much as possible.
Yeah.
It's like you said, one day it all of a sudden clicks.
Okay.
Like it's the same moves, just different arm movements. Like once you figure that out, it's like, whoa, like I can do whatever I want.
Right.
Her arms ended here, I could do this. Or her arms ended here, I could do this. So once you figure that out, it's literally your feet are doing almost the same things every time.
Yeah.
Salsa becomes fun, and you can turn it into something that's about you, not and your dance partner.
Yeah, right.
Once you realize it's about y'all's connection and y'all together, it flows.
Yeah. I want to say, I guess like in salsa, there's like only so many things you can do, right? Because it's like crossbody, left turn, right turn. It can get more fancy, but if you really break it down, it's it's a turn or something special, right?
Yeah, it's really what 4 turn patterns. It's really
all right, we can go like crossbody, reverse crossbody, left turn, right turn, crossbody with a turn, but there's still one's a crossbody, one's a turn.
So what are the turn variations? Left turn, right turn.
That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. Honestly,
everything else is just smoke and mirrors.
Exactly. Yeah.
Really, just flash.
It's just getting comfortable with each other's bodies.
Yeah. And so I think what happens is like, at least for me, as a beginner, you're so focused on yourself and, I guess just focus on yourself. You're stuck in your head. And then when it clicks, you're able to not only focus on yourself, but also focus on your partner and then focus on the music. And that, makes you a better dancer overall, right?
Right.
So it's just like a progression.
Right. It's definitely a mental thing, man. You have to be, I don't want to say mentally strong, but you do have to have some type of mental courage to get out there. And it's like I say, you got to want it, right? You got to want it because you could practice forever, and because the want isn't there, you still go look like a basic dancer. So you gotta have your own flash, your own flair, your own. This is even though I might be doing the same turn patterns as my boy Josh, but
make it look completely different.
Exactly. But you gotta want that, man. You gotta want to be different. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Definitely, I definitely understand that, man.
Yeah.
One thing I'm gonna tell you, with linear salsa, it helped him and I develop our own style.
Okay. And so you mean linear, like on 1 or on 2?
Yes.
On 1, on 2, just like in a line.
Exactly, right.
As far as rueda, it's beautiful.
Oh, man, when you see it done?
Oh, yeah. Oh, man,
when you
it's
see
amazing.
rueda done,
crazy.
It's gorgeous.
Oh, man.
I
like
love
that
it.
syncopated swimming.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So many moving parts, man. It's crazy.
Yeah. It's so nice, but with linear, one thing he and I noticed, we could develop our own style.
I understand that, yeah.
Way more room for it.
Yeah. I definitely understand that.
Yeah. Like Nayo, he started off listening to the music. I started off learning the lead.
Okay.
that's what I focus on, and that's what he focused on. And out of that, he and I just dance completely different. We're good friends, like brothers.
Yeah.
But we dance completely different.
Of course. As me and you, we obviously dance completely different, you know?
Yep.
Yeah, that's your style, right? That's all we all have our own style.
Yep.
Yeah.
Definitely.
It is funny how you're like the darkest Honduran, I'm the lightest Honduran in New Orleans.
Crazy. No in between.
Okay.
No in between.
Yeah, I met her brother not too long ago, man. So she's Dominican.
Oh,
And,
okay.
Yeah, I mean, they look like African American. They look black, man.
Yeah,
It's
hey,
so-
straight up.
crazy.
Straight up.
Like, if you didn't start speaking Spanish, man, I would be like, yo, what up, dog?
Yo, I get that all
I
the
believe it,
time.
man.
It's
You do. You
ridiculous.
look, yeah, man.
And then when people see my name, my last name, which is Gutierrez, it's like, this dude ain't black. Right.
Yeah. I mean, we all come from the motherland, man.
Hey,
So, you
straight
know
up,
what
man.
it
We all
is.
come from the same spot.
Yeah, man.
So before I leave,
Uh-huh.
I have dance class in a little bit. I just want to say thank you guys for coming over, and I hate that I'm gonna miss this part of life, but I'm gonna check it out. I'm really anxious to get to hear you guys start doing the socials
Yeah,
and
definitely.
bringing these dancers and helping the community grow.
Yes,
right? Which
very
is
important.
What we need.
Yes.
And you guys are so authentic. So I've danced with both of y'all just now, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah,
before.
definitely,
Um,
definitely.
And it's amazing. You guys, you both have two different styles, just like you said, Joshua. Completely different, which is amazing, right? And I'm just gonna check out this episode later. 'Cause I wanna
Definitely.
get into that. Thank you
Definitely.
for everything that you do for the community.
Oh, no
and
problem.
for coming
No
over
problem.
and dancing
Thank you
with
so
me.
much. Thank you for having us.
All
right.
Appreciate
See
you.
y'all.
Go be professional.
Let's get it in. Alrighty,
All right, take care.
I think the last thing we were talking about, you know, is like how y'all met, how y'all got started and everything.
Yes, sir.
So tell me, how did Los Hijos De Catrachos, how did that come about?
All right, cool. I'll talk. All right. So Los Hijos De Catrachos is fairly new, right? So before I was Hijos De Catrachos, as most people know, I was a social crasher.
All right, you have a thing.
Yeah.
Social crasher,
Mhm.
yeah.
I started that. I was.
So you were a social crasher.
I was a
Okay.
social
The
crasher.
drama.
Yes. Here we go.
All right, sure enough.
Not too much. All right, so how the social crasher got started was me and my boy Shun Harris. That's how you pronounce it, Shun. It looks, people say Sean, but it's really Shun Harris, right? So so he and I, when he's originally from Mississippi, he started coming here because of the great dancing. You know, one of our instructors here went to Mississippi, Jackson, Mississippi, and went to one of the socials there, taught a class, and I guess he was just inspired because in Mississippi it's very small. They only have maybe one good instructor.
Okay.
I was gonna say two, but I guess it's one.
enough,
You know what I
sure
mean?
enough.
So seeing an outsider, I guess outsider, which is like what he is, outsider, come and teach these new moves, these new classes, these just brand new stuff with salsa, instead of having that one person teach the same thing
Right.
every week,
Yeah.
he was like in awe, right? So that inspired him to coming down to New Orleans every weekend. So that's what, 3 hours from here. So I guess he definitely did a lot of driving to come back and forth.
yeah.
He and I got to know each other because I guess other members of the community was telling him, yo, you know, you should really link up with Nayo. He's cool, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Get to know him a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Because, you know, he needed friends, right? He's branded to the community
you.
and all that. So, you know, I see myself as a very friendly guy.
Yeah.
So I introduced myself to him, and he introduced himself to me, and he was like, hey, you know, my name is Shun, and I was like, yeah, my name's Genaro, well, Nayo. Yeah, everybody knows me as Nayo, and they're like, oh yeah, you know, my friends were telling me about you, man, and this, that, and I'm like, and this is what I'm still not at the level that I want to be. So I'm like, oh, people talking about me? Oh, okay, well, okay. Got me, yeah, all right. People talking about me.
Sure
You know what I'm saying? So yeah, he and I got cool and all that. So we were on the way to a Baton Rouge social, right?
Yeah.
And
Pretty
by
sure I've been there,
by this point, he and I were been hanging out like all the time. You know what I mean? Traveling and all that stuff. And I don't know, we were on the way to this Baton Rouge social, and he was like, we were both like, yo, you know, we've been hanging out a lot, you know. I don't know, we've been thinking, why don't we make a thing out of this, man? Why don't we, you know, do something with this?
Pause.
You know, right? Pause. So straight up. And right.
Keep in mind, I didn't hear from him for a long time. I was like, I knew he was distracted.
Oh, exposed. Hashtag. Nah, but but we had the same idea. We were like, you know, let's do something. Let's travel. Let's record it. Let's let people know. Let's try something new, right? So literally, as we taking that hour drive, we'll come up with all type of different names and schemes and how we gonna make this happen, right? And I was like, well, in my head, I was like, well, you know, we go to socials all the time. That's the only reason we travel is to go to socials, right? And then people don't know us, right? We go to these different states and we just busting their stuff. We just going, yo, we from New Orleans. What's up? You know, I said, my name is this, that, yeah. What's going on? Basically crashing the place, right? Because people don't know us. They only know who's in their community.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So we were like, we're going to socials, and then we always busting people's socials just because. Let's crash it.
Right.
Social crashers.
Sure enough.
Boom. Name. Done. And after that, that's when it progressed to, you know, we started going to Dallas. We started going to Houston, Atlanta, different parts. He did a lot more traveling than I did because my job pretty much forced me to stay here.
Job at the time.
At the time, you're right. I got a different job. The job
Better
at the time,
job.
right? The job at the time forced me to stay here, right? So he did a lot more traveling, but we did conquer a lot of southwestern-ish.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? States, and we got to know a bunch of people. You know what I mean? It was awesome. So what happened was, I guess because he was doing a lot more traveling than I did, he felt like, you know, he contributed to the name a bit more, which I respected. It, you know, it is what it is. You know, which is true. He did a lot more traveling than I did because at the time I was at the hospital, surgical technician, working at a hospital. You're kind of required to be in state when they need you, right? You know what I mean? So that happened, and he was like, you know, I'm gonna just go ahead because he was in Minneapolis at the time. So he was like, you know, I'm gonna go ahead and take over the name, blah blah. And you know, I was like, you know what, it's cool. You know what I mean? Do your thing. I consider myself a pretty creative guy sometimes. Not sometimes, but you know, when I put my mind to it, I consider myself pretty creative. Yeah. So I was like, you know what, you do your thing. We've been doing this for about a year now. You know what I'm saying? You want to take it, and cool. And I was like, I'm gonna just stay here and kind of create my own thing. Yeah. So before that happened, Josh called me, and he was like, "Yo, I see what you and Sean are doing. I like it. I want to be a part of it.
Not in the team.
Not in it. He wants to collab, right? Okay. So, and at the time we were like, all right, cool. We about collabing with whoever. You know what I'm saying? Whoever brings attention to the name or to the process, the situation. Let's do it. So he hits me up. He's like, yo, let's come up with a social. You know, Social Crashers with Hijos De Catrachos. You know, here's a social, right? You know what I'm saying? So we did that. We did that.
Blackout?
We did Blackout first.
Yeah. When was this? What year?
Last year, 2 years ago.
Before.
Yeah,
17.
It was like November, October of 17.
Yeah,
okay,
like late. Yeah.
Okay,
mm-hmm.
I might have been there for real, man.
You probably were.
I might have.
I remember seeing you.
October 2017, man.
Because you've been to a couple of our socials.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Mm-hmm. Appreciate the support, bro.
Of course.
So we started with our first ever social was Blackout. Okay. So the theme was literally Blackout. We could make it as dark as possible, right? We bought neon glasses, neon wristlets, neon necklaces, just everything neon. Okay. Neon everything. That was our first collab with Social Crashers with Hijos De Catrachos. Boom. Hey. Right? We had maybe one more, which was Chocolate.
We had one more. We had Chocolate, with the
Social Crashers.
That collab, we had one more. It was in January.
Okay.
So the other one was 2 months prior. So it was November, and then we had one act in January.
Mm-hmm. That was Social Crashers with Hijos De Catrachos presents Chocolate.
Okay.
All right. So that was actually pretty fun. Hey. Actually, that was pretty fun.
Real quick, man, tell me. You know, there might be other people out there who are contemplating, you know, starting their own little socials.
Right.
What was it like starting up a social? What was that process like?
It was stressful.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you
It's
don't
like
mind.
what,
Yeah, go ahead.
getting the word out there, or what? Planning everything.
I gotta be honest. The word was less hard because it's New Orleans. It's a small community. Word fairly gets out really quickly. Everyone, if there's a social, everyone hears about it. We have like 4 or 5 different salsa pages. You just post it.
Yeah,
People
right,
are gonna
right.
hear about it. The hardest part is planning everything, especially from the get go. Like downloading music, finding out the perfect pattern, reading the crowd. What does people like? For example, in Chocolate, people like sensual bachata or sensual modern. And then I think we had one named Gatsby because we had a couple of birthdays. Molly was one of them, and we had to play more traditional bachata. So just in essence, just trying to plan it out perfectly, making sure nothing's going, everything's flowing.
Yeah, I get you. So you're coming from, I guess, like a DJ perspective. You're actually playing the music and everything, right? Yeah.
DJ perspective, just in general, like just overall.
Okay.
Like we want to make sure everyone's having a good time.
Yeah,
no one's intimidated. That's the reason why it's a social. We love performances. Like I love seeing a performance, the hard work, dedication that goes into it. But a performance can make certain people uncomfortable because they're like, well, I don't know how to do that. Some people actually don't even appreciate it. Yeah. We wanted to have socials. People just show up, dance. Yeah. No stop in between, just dance.
Dancing literally for 4 hours or however long you want to hold it, because when we go to socials out of town, you'll dance for 2 hours, you're really feeling it, and all of a sudden they cut everything off, turn on the lights. Okay, we're performance, and after, because you're sitting for so long, because you have 3, 4, 5 performances, you get cold. It's like, and then once they shut everything off and start over again, it's like. I understand. You got to get back to, you got to recharge. You got to turn your engine back on. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because you're already high. You were sweating. You were feeling it, blah, blah, blah. And now you want to cut me off to, no disrespect to the teams. You know what I'm saying? At all. No disrespect to you. Because they, like you said, they work hard. Exactly. They train. They're dedicated. I respect that. You know what I'm saying? So we want to do it differently. We want to be able to go to a social and dance with no interruptions. Yeah. And that's exactly what we did.
That's cool, man.
And this is also during the time. Reason why I actually hit up Nayo. I was living here. I currently don't live here. And I was living here, and the spot where everyone from the veterans, like the ones who've been dancing for 15 years, the veterans who've been dancing for 2, 3, 5 years, and then the newbies, we had nowhere to dance. Okay. Silhouette was bought out and closed out. Did you ever hear about Silhouette?
I don't think so.
Exactly. Silhouette closed about 3 years ago.
Okay.
It was bought out by Randazzo's. Hey, it's free sponsorship for them. Sponsor,
is it a social spot? Or?
It was a social spot. It was a big ballroom dance. It was literally the spot. Everyone showed up. Okay. You would go, you had the veterans, you had the newbies, you had the people who've been dancing for 5 years. You had people who just love watching dance show up. Okay. It was a really nice, really awesome spot. Once they were bought out, we were like, it was like a team without it was like the Saints. Okay. Oh no, you know what? It was like the Hornets when they first got bought out by New Orleans. They showed up. They were like, wait, this is not our home. Right. Dancers were without a home. We would go to all the clubs in the city, and it just wasn't it. And we were just trying to find a place for everyone to want to dance.
Okay. That's yeah. So I came from Virginia, man, and I don't really know what to expect of New Orleans, but I was thinking that it would have a bigger like dancing, Latin dancing, just because it was like more southern. But I was actually kind of surprised, man. It's not that big down here, man.
Very small, man.
It is
very small, man.
There's a lot of things holding us back right now.
Okay, I don't know if it's true or not. But someone told me that I guess Hondurans don't really dance that much, or I don't know if that. I mean,
it's not really about the culture or where you come from. It's really about the person who you are. It's not really about just because you're from Honduras, or just because you're from Virginia, just because you're from Africa, just because you come from. No. It's not about that, because salsa or just socials, bachata, anything, kizomba, that's a worldwide thing. That's
Okay.
that's like
Sure.
literally the
Yeah.
United States of dancing.
Yeah, I talk to people in Germany, man. I didn't know salsa was big in Germany. It's like big all across
Oh, it's
the world,
huge,
bro.
man.
It
It's huge.
is.
People don't see it because it's not on mainstream media.
Oh.
It's not mainstream at all. Unless you're in that community,
Yeah.
then all the medias you follow is gonna be mainstream. But if you're not in that realm, you're not gonna know about it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? But it's really not about where you come from. It's really not, man. It's really not. It's about who the person is. Because there isn't a lot of. That's true. There isn't a lot of Hondurans that dance. Because when I went to Houston to my first ever Congress, which was Houston Salsa Congress, me and maybe like 2 or 3 other people were really from Honduras. Everybody else was like Mexican or just American, really. Or I met some Canadians. I met some.
Canada's got a big
Oh yeah, they got a huge scene. Yeah. Africans, but there's a small population of Hondurans that do dance. It's very small, but it's really not about what I'm saying.
Shout out to Georgette and Ernesto, the 2 Hondurans that made it big in the salsa scene.
Mm-hmm.
I know Troy Anthony, who knows.
Yeah,
Georgette.
his yeah.
Exactly. Troy's the man.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get him on the show.
He a crazy dude, man. He's gonna make you laugh.
He's
definitely gonna make you laugh. I'll give you that.
He thinks like a mile a minute, bro.
Jesus. Yeah,
DVDs.
Oh,
He
no.
gonna be on the show. DVDs sale.
That's his
all
thing,
love
bro.
to
Yeah, look, he'll definitely make y'all laugh.
That's
man.
his thing, bro. He loves the DVDs,
Oh,
man.
Lord.
Man, I like that dude. I heard he's popular, right?
Yeah,
he's done a lot.
He's
done a
well
lot in New Orleans.
known. He's well known.
Yeah, sure enough.
Well known,
Yeah.
man. Well known.
Mhm.
But yeah, it's definitely about the individual, man. It's not
Okay.
about the background.
I understand.
At all, man.
I understand.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yep.
One thing that it is about New Orleans, it's not so much about the Honduran background, because you go to Honduras actually has a scene.
They have
They have a Congress, actually.
international Honduran salsa Congress.
So I think
Okay.
it's in September every year.
Yep.
I'm waiting to go. I'm probably going to try to go in the next couple of years. But the truth is, it's not so much the Hondurans, it's that the Hondurans here.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nayo actually mentioned earlier in the speech, in the show, Hondurans. Well, first of all, Latins feel like, we're Latino. We don't have to take classes.
That's
we
very
automatically
true.
feel the music.
Okay.
Very,
It's true.
very
They feel the
true.
music. But here, besides that, we have another thing that's hurting us. There's a lot of religious Latinos who don't believe in dancing.
Okay.
That's
Shucks.
the other one. And so you
So
have
they kind of like they demonize it, I guess, right? Like it's.
yeah,
Yeah,
kind of.
I was
make
talking
it
with my
a-
girl about that today. Like, turn the
Uh-huh.
devil music off. Is something like that? Is it like that?
It's kind of like that.
Wow.
They
Yeah.
believe that salsa is like the. I've actually I actually knew somebody who one time told me salsa is the devil's music, and I was like, of course, I'm not trying to cause any problems. I just kept quiet. I was like, I'm not about to tell this man. I take salsa class every week because
Right.
it was about 3 years ago. But yeah, you hear a lot of that.
Dang. Okay.
So you have that. Unfortunately for them, is just that negative connotation
Yeah.
behind it.
Okay. That's crazy, man. I haven't heard anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That's
wild.
true.
Actually, where we have our socials, right next door is
It's
a
a
church.
church.
It is. Yeah, it is. Sure enough.
So
You hear them around 9 o'clock, just banging, boom, 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 playing the church music and all
Pass it. I
that
was
stuff.
talking about. Yeah, it's like the pizza joint, and then there's the church.
Exactly.
Yeah, sure enough.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I mean, fortunately,
that's
they're
an all Latino church too.
oh yeah, they never told us nothing, but yeah,
Okay.
there's literally a church next to us. But and you could see them. You got the lights off, the neon going on, and they could you see them peeping through the window, like what's going on in there? You know?
But it's mainly the kids that are like, "Mommy, look."
I definitely understand. That's crazy, man.
Mm-hmm.
That's wild, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. It's just extremists, man. That just I don't know. As far as I know, there's no biblical law about I mean, there's obviously a line
Of course.
with dancing, but there's no biblical law about how you should how you should dance. I feel like salsa, if you want to be biblical with it, I feel like salsa is a lot more safer than bachata. You know what I
Okay.
mean?
Hey, watch it.
That's his thing.
Okay.
He's more bachata.
Okay,
But I
alright.
mean, if you look at it that way, you know what I mean. But there's no really like law against dancing. Honestly,
I
You know what I mean?
understand.
So
I understand. I definitely understand that, man.
yeah.
We're not gonna put religion in this though. Everybody's religion is beautiful.
Yeah.
But we
Right.
think
Yeah,
everybody should dance.
Yeah,
Right.
I no problem with that. So we were talking about setting up a social and everything.
Yeah.
But you were talking about how your Hijos De Catrachos are social crashers and
Yeah. So continuing that story, right after Chocolate, because we had Blackout, we had Chocolate. Gatsby was just us, huh?
Gatsby was just us. I have to think. I'd have to go back through the.
Yeah, we had so many.
okay.
But literally right after Chocolate, that's when the Social Crashers ultimately broke up because he felt like, he was living in another state, right? And he didn't even show up. No, he did show up. All right, so
it was a social after where he couldn't show up.
Yeah.
And it was like, yo, man, we're just gonna do. He decided with Nayo, we're gonna just split it off.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
And then I think it was not that social, but the social afterward, where Nayo and I were like, let's make something out of it for our community.
Yeah.
So even if I weren't here, Nayo would run the show.
Okay.
And I would do the planning, and I would do the running of the show once he's here.
Okay.
Like, by the way, Nayo's the one who does all of our flyers.
All right, sure enough.
Appreciate that. Yeah, so appreciate it. So yeah, I didn't want to make it about me or him and the split up or whatever. It's definitely about the community because, like I said, I do remember my days while we first started, and I needed something. You know what I'm saying? Like people needed somewhere to dance because it's mostly reggaeton clubs,
it's like that.
It's all reggaeton. They play literally 2-3% of salsa, less than 1% of salsa, maybe 3%, 4% of bachata, which because apparently that's what everybody knows only in this New Orleans. You know what I'm saying? So people who want to learn, people who want something different, people who want to get away from that reggaeton vibe, you know what I'm saying, they needed something.
Yeah.
So that's why I definitely continued with my boy Josh. We like I said, we've been cool before all this dance stuff even started.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Bring us closer together, yes.
Yeah, of course. I got. I don't know if it's a business, but you know what I'm saying. It's like a partnership.
No, definitely.
Yeah.
If anything, it's more of a nonprofit.
Okay.
Because literally all the money we've made, we've contributed back into the socials.
Yes.
Okay.
For example, the first couple had our speakers weren't the best.
No.
We bought one speaker, then the money from the next one, we bought the second speaker. We've bought equipment, we've bought lights.
All right, nice, man.
Yes.
And now we're putting into better locations.
Okay.
Yes.
So it's just with every social we're planning on upgrading. And then some of the money that we've made on the other ones, now we're able to bring in artists.
Okay, nice.
Yes.
This is a progression.
And we feel like
That's
it's very important that people know where their money is going.
Okay.
So when you come to our social, your money isn't going in our pocket so we could go to a club and drink all night.
Yeah, sure.
All right, your money is going towards better speakers, better lights, better venues, better artists.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Your money is going towards a better social for
awesome.
you.
That's awesome.
You know what I mean? So we want people to know that.
That's awesome. Yeah.
There are artists who live off the socials.
Yeah.
And that's their livelihood. That's not our livelihood.
Okay.
We're looking just to make things better. Granted, we're not really doing it for the money because we don't really need the money, but we just want to make the scene better.
Yeah.
That's all it is to it.
I think that's important, man. Like, y'all saw something lacking. You know what I'm saying? You tried to like fill that hole. That need, man. So that's and people appreciate that.
And people see us, man. When we do, sometimes when we're like, yeah, let's take a break from the social stuff. Let's go to the club. People see us. Look, I've seen y'all on social media. You guys are great dancers, or they just see us dancing like a 2-minute, 3-minute salsa, and like, hey, do you guys teach? Are you guys professionals?
Right.
And boom, just like that, man.
Yeah.
People are out there that really want to learn this stuff, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even in regular clubs, man.
I believe it.
Even Latinos.
Yeah, even Latinos.
Yeah.
People really want to learn this stuff, man.
Yeah. I'm curious. I want to ask you, man. I only speak for my girl. Like when she got here, I think she's kind of like you. She thought she knew it,
right?
And she just knew the basics.
Yep.
Is it? What happens with like Americans? Like, does the dance become like Americanized, and we like? How can I say this? We put it into a class, and I don't want to say we take it like to the next level, but you know, we take it past the basic. We make it a class and we start teaching more and more. Instead of we're like in like maybe Honduras or like where she's from, where it's just that street salsa. I don't know if I'm even saying.
No. I've heard that term before. That's very, very good. When I go to Moe's and let's say a lady approaches me and asks me to dance.
Right.
Okay, we're on the dance floor. Because she's seen our history, she's like, okay, I don't know that professional stuff. I street salsa. Okay, I never heard this term before because I didn't. I've always done street salsa before, but I never classified it as street salsa.
Okay.
I just classified it as salsa, all the same. Right. So she's like, I street salsa, right? So that terminology, I mean, it's factual. There's a different level,
It is.
and you got ballroom or class learned salsa, and then you do have the street where people learn on videos, and you just decided to go to a club and learn it right there.
Okay.
So I guess.
Or we have our Cubans who hit it on the streets and was like,
Yeah.
Sure enough.
Right. So I guess we do. If you step into a classroom, I guess we do tend to classify it. I think that's factual.
Okay. Sure enough.
Yeah.
practicing. Like they call it professional, but it's also people who practice.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you the big difference, if you don't mind.
Yeah, please.
The big difference is you tend to see because a lot of Americans who want to learn it. Like for example, this weekend alone, I had a total of 6 people ask me about classes.
Like just around, like
Just random. Yeah.
Okay,
We're just
okay.
going out.
like Coretta's, Moe's, man, all these people getting free advertisement. But just like in general, like people just were asking me about classes, and to be honest, the people who hit me up most are the Americans, people who are born here, people who didn't have that natural rhythm. People, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't have as much natural rhythm as this guy.
I said, me neither, man. I had to learn it.
Yeah.
I was stereotypical black man. I straight up, keep it 100, man. I didn't have no rhythm, man. So I felt I was scared of the dance floor growing up, man.
Yep.
I started dancing when I was like 20, 21, man.
Wow.
Yeah, man.
Look at that.
27. I'll be 28 this year.
Okay.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
But yeah, like straight up, dude. That's kind of like where I got the name of the podcast, man, because I was terrified of the dance floor, bro. And I was like, I gotta change this, man. So I started taking a salsa class.
Mm-hmm.
And
Exactly.
You
like,
felt like you had to work harder.
Oh man.
It's always the underdogs who work harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would say I think I got the best when I joined the performance team, man. But I mean, yeah, man. I can't even tell you why I stuck with it. I can't even tell you why.
Yeah.
Me keeping 100, I'm just keeping 100 right now. I don't even know if I really like sauce music like that. Like you'll never hear me play sauce music in my car.
Oh, word?
Nah, you won't
It's
hear
okay,
it.
bro. I play bachata like all the time.
Okay,
You know what?
So
Speaking of that, bro, that's so weird, bro, because it's funny because, all right, so I'm riding with my windows down, you know what I'm saying? And if I'm coming off the highway, I'm blasting salsa music.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And
let
they see you.
me come to a corner where got some people in the corner, some
you
young
gonna put
cats.
on? What you gonna put
Man,
on?
I put on some Migos, some Wayne. What's the next song? Like, yeah. As soon as I leave them cats, back to my
Back
salsa
to it.
music.
Hey, man,
so
you
that's
gotta-
funny, though.
you
Yeah.
gotta own that
Yeah,
shit,
you
man.
right, though. You right. Maybe you right. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I can't tell you why I stuck with it, man. I don't know, man. I guess like you feel like you might get good at something and you want to like a feedback loop. I guess, I don't know, I can't even tell you, man. But I'm so glad I stuck with it.
No,
'cause,
definitely.
It gave me like confidence, man.
you first took your class in Virginia.
Exactly. Yeah.
Nice.
I took with Miss
A lot
Jalissa
of good
Cruz.
dancers out there.
A lot of good dancers.
Oh, dude.
With who?
Jalissa Cruz, Latin
Okay.
Vintage.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I used to DC. It's a big scene out there, man.
Yes.
I used to go to DC. It's like maybe our job. Central Bachata is big in DC. It's really big up there, man. They do like the Central Bachata, like the Zouk, Brazilian Zouk and all that mixed with it.
At Salsa Room.
Right?
The
Exactly. It's
salsa
awesome.
room was dope.
Exactly. Yeah, man. I've been
Yeah.
there plenty of times, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what's up.
The DC bachata scene is probably the biggest bachata scene
Okay.
in the States.
I have nothing compared to, but I understand. It's big up there, bro.
It's big.
I understand that.
I would say DC and Dallas right now have the biggest sensual bachata.
Okay.
DC, Dallas, and Orlando are the 3 biggest sensual bachata.
Okay.
They all dance bachata like Houston dances traditional.
Okay. Yeah.
So everywhere is a little different.
Yeah. It's so crazy, man, because like a lot of people dance it, but I still feel like the dance scene is a small scene, man. Because you kind of run into that's what I mean is you kind of run into the same people, though, man.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
Yeah, it's like one of the same people.
And like I said, like going back to the thing, it's not about where you come from. It's about the individual because we do have a lot of instructors here. We support each other, or at least we try to. And you do see a lot of the same people because some of these people have their own individual classes, and they try to bring people to their classes, from their classes to a social, right? It's about the individual. Now, it could be because the person is busy. It could be because the person are just too afraid to go out and meet new people. They just want to do the private thing, and then they feel like if they get to this maximum level of salsa, bachata, kizomba, zouk, whatever, then they can go out on the floor and then do their thing. But it's not like that, man.
Okay.
So that's probably why you see the same people over and over and over, and the lack of the new guys. You know what I'm saying? It takes a certain type of person, a certain type of mentality to just go out and just put yourself out there, because that's really what you're doing, man.
It's tough, man.
It really is. Yeah.
I want to say this. I don't know who told me this, man, but they told me that social dancing is another form of practice.
Yes.
And I agree with that 100%, man.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna learn a little something in the classes, but you really get most of what you know or what you learn just going out there, and because no one dances the same.
Of course not.
You could dance with 1,000 different people. Not
man.
one of them is good dancers. It's just like DNA.
Yeah.
No one's gonna dance the same.
Yeah.
Granted, you might have people have similar moves.
Right.
because
Yeah,
they were in the
similar
same
moves.
classes, same teams, but it'll be a little different.
Yes, always.
Yeah.
Always.
Like different heights, everything contributes to all the differences.
Exactly. Yeah.
But I'm gonna say, if you don't mind me adding to it, social dancing and performing are two different arts of their own.
I believe it. Definitely.
Like, I am gonna tell you right now, there's people who are good at performing and who are terrible at social
I was
dancing.
gonna say, I've had people say that to me.
That's true.
Good performers, like professionals, man, but they can't social dance.
Horrible.
And it's kind of hard to imagine. I'm like, because before you gotta have that technique down, right? Like how does that not translate?
It's a different connection. It's a complete.
Yes.
Like
As
a
performance, you got that same partner, right? I guess, or what?
same partner, and she already knows what you're gonna do.
Right.
At
So
the
she
moment,
helps
like,
you.
Right.
She's
So
like, ba-da,
true.
da-da, da-da.
So true.
So you got those. They're two different art forms. I've literally had people come up to me in particular and be like, "You're better than pros or dancers as far as connection go work." Because the first day I ever danced in the class, I was like, I want to learn partner work. I want to learn that connection. How do I lead?
Yeah.
That was important to me. And out of it, I wanted to learn how to social dance. But there's people who I can't perform. I'm going to tell you right now, all you performers out there, thank you for what you do.
Yeah.
You do a great job. Y'all do it way better than me.
I understand.
I've performed once in my life.
I've performed like maybe 2 or 3 times. I get nervous. I didn't like it.
Yeah,
That's just
see,
me, though.
exactly.
I get nervous, man.
No, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah,
I'm the same way, man.
Yeah,
I can't perform, man. Like you said, piggybacking off him. I appreciate you guys when I go to your shows in Miami. You guys look great.
Not only Miami,
You guys
New
look
Orleans
great.
too. Thank you. All of y'all.
This guy can't do it.
Nah,
you know what I'm saying?
man.
This
But,
guy can't do it.
Yeah, I love social dance though. I will say that.
Right.
Yeah.
See, it's like I said, it's a different connection, different vein. I guess if you have different veins in your, you know what I'm saying, it's a different stream, right? Because, like I say, you're performing with the same partner. You guys perform for at least 40, 100 hours a week.
Yeah.
She helps because,
Of course.
you know, she knows what you're gonna do. You can't do that when you're dancing with a random person.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know
can't.
what's going on. She don't know what's going on. You don't know what's going on. You just gonna have to wing it.
You truly got to lead in that. Instance.
Yes.
You truly
That's
gotta
where
lead it.
that's where you're tested.
So true.
Yes.
So true.
There's
yeah.
girls who back lead, and there's advanced dancers in the city who will help you back lead, but in the right way.
Okay.
But at the end of the day, as a lead, and I say lead because it could be a female or a male.
Yeah.
You as a lead, you have to learn how to lead clearly and efficiently.
Yeah. I wanna ask y'all some tips, man, to help people out.
What's up?
I got a couple things on my. One about that connection. How can people improve that connection? And 2, man, how can you lead, clearly? I guess you answer which one you want. But how can you lead clearly, and how do you improve that connection with your partner?
Number one thing is don't self-doubt yourself. If you learn to move, practice it. But in the middle of a dance floor, the first time you do a move outside of the class, you're going to mess up. Eventually, you're going to learn how to do it the right way. Every follow, there is no right or wrong way to lead because he leads a different way than me.
Right.
I guarantee you right now, I'm one of the lightest leads in New Orleans.
Okay.
I'm just a light lead. I don't force anything when I'm dancing with someone. So if you're going to lead something, lead it the way you will, but you're going to have to, as a lead, you're going to have to learn how to give some power to some girls and less power to some. The queen of dance right now, Miss Julie. I don't have to give her much of a ding, and all of a sudden she already has like 3 spins at it. Like she's a
awesome.
fantastic spin.
Yes.
Who you talking about?
Julie Banks.
Oh, okay, yeah. We've had her on the show. She's good. I love Julie's a great follow.
Oh,
she's
yeah,
a great
she's
follow.
awesome.
She's a great follow.
Awesome.
Yeah, Julie's
Love
great.
dancing with her.
Yeah, he's right about that.
And I always tell her, I always go up to her, like I love dancing with her, but literally, like if I give, even for my light lead, if I give her a little too much, all of a sudden she's like 6 spins. And I'm like, all right, I know you're good, girl. Geez.
Calm down.
I don't even have to go nuts. She's gonna go, because that's another thing with follows. It gets to the point where you're not spinning them. Once you're at like her level, she spins herself.
I believe it. Yeah.
All you're giving her is a ding, 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 and she's like already at it.
Yeah.
So that's with every follow, you're gonna have to learn how to adjust.
Okay.
And you can't be scared of that adjustment because, like I said, all connections are different.
Yeah.
And when it gets to a point where everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, following with you was easy because you learned how to lead."
Yeah.
But in the beginning, you're gonna be some people you connect with better than
That's
others.
the thing. Yeah.
Until you get to that level.
Good connection with. Okay.
Exactly. Until you get to that level where you're like, okay, I'm learning how to lead almost anyone.
Sure enough.
Some people, it's still a task, but it's possible.
I understand that.
Right, and also that's very important for the guys who want tips, or even the girls. It's very important that you use identification. It's very important to know where your partner is as far as level.
Yeah, it's so true.
Because you don't want to be up here with your partner being down here, and you hitting her with moves that are up here, and she has no idea what you're doing. Yeah. It's very important to identify within the first 15 seconds where your partner is, right?
You do that,
You know what I'm
First
saying?
32 counts.
Yeah.
Literally, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, and one more after that.
It's just like telling that basic step, bro.
Right.
I believe it.
Literally, from the first time you touch a girl, a follow hand, you know her. You can get a general idea of her skill level.
Definitely.
So please use identification. Judge your partner, because I've heard so many stories of this guy hurt my shoulder and this then hit me with. I had a horrible dance because I didn't know what he was doing and blah blah. We're on different steps, and so it's very important to identify where you at. And if you're at a higher level, please, Lord, you don't have to. If you want to show off in front of people, grab somebody. You could, if you look around, you know who's at your level, right? Yeah. If you want to show off, grab somebody that's on your level. Don't grab someone who if you're a guy, if you're attracted to this person, she's not good. She's not gonna like the fact, she knows that you're a good dancer, but she's not gonna like the fact that you're hitting her with stuff that she has no idea what's going on.
I want to say, because in that instance, you don't have a connection.
Exactly.
And so when you're dancing with someone, it's a shared experience, right?
Right.
And so you want to. The goal, in my opinion, should be trying to make that other person have a good time.
Yes. It's
all
all about your partner.
Yeah. So
all
if
about
both people, or if that's their goal, you should have a good outcome, I imagine.
Right. Yes. Because, like I said, I've had so many people walk up to me and like, "Oh, I've seen you dance. I'm not that good," and I love it. Honestly, some of my best dances have been basic salsa dances, basic salsa bachatas. Yeah. Just pure
fun.
Yeah, that's all it's about. You know what I mean? It's not a performance.
Right. It's
you
not.
Know what I mean?
It's not.
And people try to do that on the dance floor. Not all of them.
Right.
A lot of them do, though. So they try to perform on the dance floor.
Yeah.
And they wind up hitting people on the side next to them, and it just looks bad.
Yeah.
It looks bad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like a form of communication, right?
Yes.
Oh, absolutely.
It is.
Mm-hmm.
I just want to say a big shout out to this weekend. I came back this weekend, and I saw a lot more basic or people who don't practice asking people who practice.
Okay.
I mentioned that to him yesterday.
Where was you at?
We went to, first day was Maison.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I had like 2 girls who don't regularly dance ask me, or one girl took a shot. I took one class a while ago to ask me to dance. I love that.
Okay.
Went to Coretta's, and girls who, girls who don't normally dance, practice, came up to say, "I want to dance with you." And not only to me, other follows.
Okay.
Like, I was impressed with like how many Latin people in the community love to dance, and they were asking people who practice how to dance.
Okay.
Or just to dance.
I get you.
That was beautiful.
Yeah.
That was just like, that's the next level we need, regardless if you are Latino or not. If you've seen a dance, if you've taken one basic class, and you want to show and you want to ask one of the better dancers, for the most part, as long as you weren't disrespectful.
Yeah.
Or in some kind of way, especially as long as you weren't disrespectful in some kind of way, that's majority of us. 99% of the time, we're gonna say absolutely yes.
Of course, yeah.
Even when I'm tired and sweaty, I will say yes.
Of course,
I rarely say no to people.
Man.
I could be on my last breath. You want to dance? Yeah, let's
Let's
go.
go.
Let's
It's
do
like,
it.
yeah,
I'm gonna
man.
pass out on the dance floor, but it's cool. I got you. Let's
Especially if
do
I'm
it.
still here. It's
Yeah,
like,
exactly. Come on.
Yeah, I definitely understand that.
Yeah, definitely.
I
That's
think,
very important to the person.
Yeah.
Whoever's trying to learn.
Of course,
Very
man.
important.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I think we all know like nothing stings more than rejection. So
Yeah.
at anything, man.
Definitely.
So yeah, I definitely understand that.
Yeah.
I think that's what's I don't know. It's kind of it could be kind of good and bad, but I feel like in the Latin scene, you know, I don't know if I'm wrong to say this, but I feel like you're kind of obligated to say yes. And maybe I say that from a lead's perspective, maybe not from the father.
No, I got you.
Yeah.
I got you. Now I've had been rejected by follows because maybe their feet hurt.
Okay, yeah.
But I also had the other side where
How many times have you said no to a lady?
Ooh, less than a handful.
I would say that's
Yeah,
what I mean.
that's
That's what I
rare.
mean from as a lead.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's
get it.
very
I get it.
rare.
Yeah.
Very rare.
Very rare.
Yeah, exactly.
I couldn't even tell you the last time.
The last time I said
Yeah.
no to someone,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you either.
Right. It's very
But
rare.
I-
It's also like the men part of us, or we're just
Yeah, maybe so,
like,
yeah.
We're of course gonna want to do it, but a female.
You want to hurt somebody's feelings.
Yeah,
ladies
That- yeah,
feel.
you always think, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, but as the females will more likely say no, and it's okay, especially in the city. A lot of females I found, like, I try not to dance in the beginning. It's hard not to. I'm gonna have to tell you. I hear salsa, bachata come on. I'm like, oh,
Hey.
para. I'm like, but I'll try not to start dancing because I'll try to ask people who don't dance first. Because as soon as they see you dance and they see that you practice, they're like, oh, I'm not dancing with them.
Intimidated.
Right.
That's exactly the reason why they'll
exactly.
say no. That they're intimidated.
Yeah.
And we're like, it's not about that. It's absolutely not. And Mo's, this a couple of days ago, I literally had 3 girls who don't dance not say no.
Okay.
That's like the progression we need in the city. That's exactly what we
Yeah.
need.
I understand that, man. Yeah. I definitely understand that.
In DC, what did you see? You saw a lot of Latinos teaching.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Because those were people who at one time did not say no.
Okay.
They hit it on the dance floor and they kept going.
Yeah. Sure enough.
You
Love
can't
it.
be intimidated.
Love
Yeah.
it.
It's always gonna be scary.
It's exactly. You got to, like, what are you going to do when you face that fear, man?
Right.
It's easy to say, though.
Like I said, it takes a certain individual, it takes a certain person, it takes a certain mindset. You know what I'm saying? Because it's not easy.
It's not.
I'm telling you.
I think that's like we all share that. You know,
Yeah,
we
it's
got
not
through that.
easy. And like I said, we all been rejected. And it's hard to be like,
Yeah.
all right, let me ask her then.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's hard.
Yeah.
As a guy or as a lead.
Yeah.
It's hard.
Especially when you're not that good.
Yeah, especially if you're not that good.
beginning-
Exactly.
So we can talk about so much, man. But
Yeah.
I think in the beginning stages, someone told me this. In the beginning stages, the leads have it. It's more difficult in the beginning stages.
Yes.
And as they progress, they told me that it gets more harder for the
As a
follows.
follow.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and I understand that. I think, in my opinion, I think the follows have the harder part, because I'm always going to lead the same. But as a follow, they always have to continuously adapt.
Yes.
That's a good point.
I actually agree, but I both lead and follow.
Okay, well, yeah. And that's the best of both worlds, man. I
Yeah.
already know you're a good dancer.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I lead and follow, and actually in the city I'm living in now, Shreveport, I've been telling them, like, hey, I'll follow. It's not a big deal. I know how to. I have to be completely honest. In the beginning, like you said, it is 100 times harder to lead because you don't know how.
Right.
To be able to communicate this move, this move, da 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 da. But once you hit that it,
Right.
something just clicked.
Mhm.
As soon as you hit that part, everything after that gets easier.
Mm.
The following portion, man, I'm still working on.
I believe it.
I could do 2 spins. I can't do no 3. I could do 3 on my own. I can't do no 3 with a
Okay.
partner.
Right.
I can't. There's certain moves that I'm just like actually last time I went to Dallas was like last week. Last week I went to Dallas, or 2 weeks ago I went to Dallas, and a guy did this move, And to this day, I couldn't tell you what it was because as a follow, you can't remember. It's really hard to
Just
remember.
happens.
You're just focusing on the follow, but it's so hard to do some moves because it's just a connection you just don't know.
I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they do it.
It's way different, man.
It's crazy.
It's crazy.
And so I do. I've followed a couple of times, and the trust part is crazy. Because you, as a father, you truly have to give that person control, right?
Mm-hmm.
How crazy is that?
But
It's
absolutely.
wild.
Yeah.
It's like one of the few times you actually give up control, right?
Yeah.
Like, my life is in your hands, Lee. It's crazy, man.
Like I said, I've heard stories where girls are like, "Oh, my shoulder, my
Yeah, it
elbow, my,
happens.
yeah." So it's for the follow. I understand that part where you just giving yourself to this person. That also must be very difficult.
Man, yeah.
Very difficult.
That's crazy, man.
Yeah, and he does best of both worlds, so
man.
he could tell you. I lead him all the time.
All right,
so
sure enough.
I try my best to not hurt the guy, but yeah.
I think that's a big thing, though, because when you learn to follow, man, it only improves your lead, man.
It helps.
I know for a
It
fact
does.
that. That's why I'm asking. I know this because you know what it takes to lead it, right?
It
You
gives you
know
a
when
better
it's not
idea.
exactly. Yeah, you know what's not a clear lead and what's a clear lead. So I mean, yeah.
I still consider myself a very heavy follow.
Okay.
Like, he could tell you. He's really good with it because he's done it. We've done it so much together. But some people, it's and he also knows some of my limits. I'm like I can't do this, can't do that.
Okay.
But like some people will push me. And I'm like, which I love, but it's hard.
Oh man.
It's so, but it does absolutely help my lead in a sense of, I remember I had difficulty getting communication in this move. So it helped me, like, okay, how would I do it in this perspective? So, like, females I've traded in the past, especially in private lessons, it was easier, especially do it in footwork, do it because I already know how to do it from the follow side.
Okay. Right. Yeah. And especially if you want to teach her, it's probably best to know both sides as well, right?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
I'm curious. Do y'all teach at all?
I
is it
only
socials?
teach privates.
Okay.
I only I did the whole class thing, but like you said, the community here is so small, and they got so
man.
many different instructors.
It's a thing.
People really don't know who to go to.
Right,
so
right.
the classes weren't working out for me,
understand.
but privates are working out great.
That's awesome.
Privates are great.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so I do teach privately.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I like privates as well, man. I think there's nothing
I think people
better
feel
than
more comfortable with privates, right?
There's nothing better than that, especially when that teacher can cater to specific.
Right, exactly.
Like the group class, I've done plenty of group classes. And group class is cool, man. But you know,
Great
the
for
teachers.
socialization, though.
Yeah. The teachers, but they're on that regimen that I can only slow down so much.
Right,
There's one
exactly.
person.
Cut on a time limit
Yeah,
and
man.
all that good stuff. Yeah. Mhm.
But yeah, I'm a big proponent of private classes.
But I'm gonna say this. Actually, as far as me being a teacher, I would soon enough. I'm actually gonna be planning some stuff in the city. I'm gonna start teaching some stuff.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, I have been doing privates. But as far as classes go, I have noticed people who take classes in the beginning, apart from privates, will stick to it longer.
Say it. So
They'll stick to it.
people
longer.
who take social or the
Take
group classes.
The group classes.
Oh, okay.
Will stick to it longer than people who do privates.
Okay.
Which is why I've been pushing more classes because I'm not teaching a class right now. I've been pushing it off to other dancers that I think they would connect well. I've been doing this for years. People will tell me I'll shoot it to Mary Angel. I shoot it to Julie and Renato. I shoot it to Sergio. I've even told some people like, hey, hit up DeJean.
Yeah.
Even Rubia. I've like hit up this person. Because I just noticed that people who start in group classes are willing to stick to it because they have other people to get
support system, I guess, or what?
Support system.
Okay, I understand that.
Yeah.
Now, also piggybacking off that, I have a lot of couple privates.
Okay.
So this person will be the boyfriend or girlfriend or husband and wife, and this group that knows each other, and that would be like a private class. So that also works as well.
So like multiple couples, you're saying?
Multiple couples, yeah.
All right, so
You know what I'm saying?
I get
People
you.
will bring boyfriend, girlfriend, or husband and wife will bring another husband and wife.
Okay.
Or another husband and wife, and now have 6 people I'm
I get
teaching
you.
at one time.
I get you.
But privately.
I get you. Yeah, on private group class.
Yeah.
I understand that. That's real cool, man.
Yes, sir.
I want to ask y'all this, man. For beginners out there who feel like they're stuck in like beginner's rut, what advice could y'all give them?
Travel.
Okay.
Multiple instructors.
Multiple instructors travel.
Okay, sure enough.
you're not gonna find what you're looking for from one instructor. He is absolutely right.
Okay, sure enough.
That's one thing I had to learn with traveling. I've had instructors from Houston to Dallas to Spain to Dominican Republic. I'm gonna tell y'all, travel. If you're looking to get serious, for those of you who want to take classes as like a little date, that's not wrong. I've met many people who are like, I'm only here on a little date. Beautiful. Come see my world.
Yes.
And if it's a one time, cool. But if you're looking to get serious, travel. There's a lot of people within the from here to Houston to Dallas to Austin to Memphis to everywhere around Florida who are willing to teach you different styles.
Yeah, it's true, because when I first started with Aurelio, I was already motivated because this was brand new to me. That didn't amplify. It didn't get bigger. That motivation didn't grow until I started traveling.
Okay.
My first ever Congress
Oh,
was
man.
the Houston Salsa Congress. When I seen, in my class, I'm used to seeing 20 people, right? When I went to Houston and saw
That big room, right?
5,000 people,
Right.
oh my God, I was in love.
Yeah.
We were in love, but heck of intimidated. It's
Oh,
actually,
man.
it was both of our first Congress.
We went at the same time. Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
same time.
My first one was to Miami.
Miami?
I think Miami South
That's a good one too.
I love Congresses, man, just because it's intimidating, but it opens your eyes to like the talent level. It's kind of like inspirational. You see like these amazing dancers, like wow, these people who have put the time in,
Right.
and, perfected their craft. Man.
Right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Congresses are amazing opportunities.
Oh my God, I feel like everyone should do at least one time in
Oh,
their
man,
life.
definitely.
You have
Yeah,
to
man.
experience that, man.
Yes.
You have to experience that. It is
HSC is a great.
amazing.
Houston Salsa Congress is a great choice.
Okay.
Yes.
I've never been. But yeah. All right,
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God, please go.
All right, so
Please
enough.
go.
So enough. Yeah.
Man.
Yeah, it's
Dude.
right there.
Oh yeah,
It's
I
our
have no.
neighbor.
I have no.
All right,
excuse.
yeah, please go.
Has it already happened this year?
Yeah, in January. It's
Damn,
gonna be next
all right,
January.
show it up, show it up. I
So-
need to check it out then, man.
Mhm.
Yeah, and get it soon because those tickets do get expensive. So
Okay.
they get a lot of great artists. So-
Okay.
And also now we have our own Congress in the city.
The bachatas.
The New Orleans
Yeah,
salsa
yeah. That's
bachata,
Rubius,
like-
right?
Mhm.
Yeah,
I'm trying to get. Yeah, definitely. I went last year. That's a cool one, especially in the cities. Like,
Oh, yeah, it's right there, yeah.
Right
Exactly,
there.
Yeah.
And we have our socials and people are teaching, so people have the opportunities to learn.
Yeah.
And now, there are other dancers who are starting to teach now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's out there, man. You just gotta look for it, man.
Yeah, so
if you
true.
earnestly want to do this, there's out there, man. You just have to have to get up and go, man, and
Sure
do
enough.
it.
Yeah,
It's out
yeah.
there, man.
Sure enough.
And enough of us travel to know who in certain cities teach.
Okay.
And if you're looking for a certain style, some of us happen to know those people.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to Houston, I got you. If you
Hey,
go to
sure
Dallas,
enough.
I got you.
It's all connected. Yeah, we're all
Yeah.
connected. All connected.
And sure enough.
Even up to New York, LA.
yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
even to the furthest parts of America.
Spain,
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Look at it.
Sure enough.
Past America.
Sure enough.
Past
sure enough.
America.
You know what I mean? Yeah,
Let me,
it's definitely out there.
Let me ask you this, man. For intermediate dancers
Okay.
who want to take that next step to like advance, you have any advice for them?
Even though I don't perform personally, I want to say perform.
Okay.
You'll learn a lot. Probably, but you have to get to that level of social dancer first. You have to be comfortable with social dancer. And then if you're an intermediate dancer and you want to get to the next level, a lot of people will say join a team and perform.
Okay. Sure enough.
Yeah.
Sure enough.
For me, videotape yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Just watch.
I remember a couple of years ago, I felt I was good in New Orleans. I was amazing. I got videotaped in the class me doing styling, and I looked so terrible. I was like, oh no. If you videotape yourself, you'll
Hey.
realize, hey,
Yeah.
I could work on this. I could
enough.
work on this. So you learn so much off of it. Just off of yourself, you learn so much.
Yeah. I like that. I've never heard someone say that. That's a really good point.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just videotape yourself. I like that.
That's
man.
really good practice.
Yeah. Definitely.
Really good practice. 'Cause I remember when I first started recording myself, I was like, ooh.
Okay. I mean,
Delete.
you're going to be your
Right.
your worst critic, right?
Yeah,
Oh, bro.
always,
So-
always.
so-
Even to
yeah.
this day, I'm like, I could have done that
Yeah,
way,
way
better.
better.
Oh my
Fair
God,
enough,
no.
yeah. Yeah, we all like that, man.
No.
I was talking to Sergio, man, and he told me he doesn't remember the last time he had a perfect dance. Wow. And
That's true.
Yeah, man. I was
That's
like,
true.
yeah,
Even the
yeah.
best of us
Come on,
screw
man.
up, man.
Yeah.
Even the best of us,
Yeah,
man. So
so
that's
that-
very
Yo,
true.
some amazing things come on screwing up there.
Yeah,
in the
showing
dance.
up.
Oh, yeah.
You learn from it, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you might accidentally make a move
Exactly.
out of it.
Because you like, damn, I could do that. I didn't know
Right.
that.
Hold on, I look good. I felt good.
Yeah, showing up. I definitely know that,
Yeah,
man.
man. So true.
Yeah, man. Hell yeah. Let me ask you this, man.
What's up?
What lessons have y'all learned from dancing that you're able to translate to your everyday life?
Definitely being open
Okay.
to communication. Definitely. Like I said, I always consider myself a pretty social guy, but it didn't get easier until I started asking people to dance or just social dancing. That definitely gotten a lot easier because asking, if you're a guy, asking girls to dance definitely helped me outside of dance
Yeah.
because now it's easier for me to talk to random girls,
Okay.
right? You know what I'm saying?
Says the married man.
No, it says the married man. Oops, my bad. I'm talking about for my job, which is what I do for my job. I gotta keep the lights on, right? For my job, it's easier to talk to people because of dancing. Because it's the more you travel and get to know new people, the easier the conversations get.
Sure enough.
It's definitely you could do that. It's like if I could do this in the community. Go up to random people and ask them to dance. I could definitely hold a conversation with random people.
Yeah.
All you gotta do, the silver lining is find something in common. Even if you have the same color in common.
Yeah.
Oh, black is your favorite color? It's mine too.
Sure
and
enough.
now you got a whole conversation just for one color.
Yeah.
Find that common ground.
Yeah.
That's what helped me.
Yeah. I definitely understand it. I say dancing gave me like a little bit of confidence, man. You know. Yeah. Definitely. I definitely understand that.
Comfort in your own skin.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's number one.
Okay.
It helps you realize who you are and that you are comfortable in your own skin, especially if you grew up feeling different.
Yeah.
I mentioned earlier, if you grew up feeling different, eventually you're going to grow up and dancing helps you expose yourself, be comfortable who you are. Just run with it.
Mm-hmm.
I definitely understand that, man.
Definitely.
Yeah. I definitely
I already know I'm the most different person at work, and I run with that. I'm like, ¿tú sabes? Yeah, I am.
What you mean, like as far as a male, or what you mean?
Just in general, man.
Okay.
Like I'm a nurse, and I just work in a field where I'm very different from everybody else.
Okay.
Like, no lie, I'll be at lunch break, and I'll be like watching a move, and like, oh shoot, I could practice this shine right now.
Oh, okay.
Someone will be walking in the break room. Whoops. Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
So it's just those are things that you have to be.
Yo, that
with.
is so true because when I first started learning this, I was also in the medical field. I was a surgical technician, but when I was decontaminating all my equipment, I would have my headphones on,
Okay.
right? Excuse me. I would have my headphones on, and I would be watching videos, not of myself, but I was like, oh, I saw this person do this. I wanna practice that. I have my headphones on. I'll be counting the music because that's very important.
Of course.
And next thing I know, I'll do a spin as I'm washing my tools, and I have my whole crew behind me, just like,
What?
"Are you okay?"
What you doing?
Most embarrassing thing
Yeah,
ever.
sure enough.
But like I said, people are gonna watch you when you go dancing. People are always gonna watch you,
course.
even if you've been dancing a week or 15
Sure
years.
enough.
People are always gonna watch you.
So, you said that. What can people do with that? Like, you say people are going to watch you. Is that a reason to be scared or a reason to embrace it? Like,
It's definitely scary
Yeah.
knowing that any little thing you do, because you're gonna feel like you have to dance perfectly, which no dance is perfect.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You're gonna feel that way, but you have to tune them out.
Okay.
Tune them out, man.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? Every now and then you'll catch yourself looking like, okay, I'm spinning her, but what's going on over here?
Right.
What's going on over here? Right? You know what I'm saying? But you have to tune them out. You know what I mean? And like I said, with practice it gets easier because
Right.
now you're like, oh, I kind of know what I'm doing, so I don't mind people watching.
Right.
Me, you know what I mean? So it's definitely, I guess when I first started doing it, I just look. If I screw up on a dance, I just laugh it off. She'll laugh, and then everybody else is laughing. Now we're on the same page.
Okay, so
You know what I'm saying?
Just
Yeah.
because both of y'all laughing, it's gonna look like, oh, that was on purpose.
Yeah,
Right, you know what I'm saying?
Just
Just please don't take the dance so
Too serious.
serious
Okay,
because that's
right.
gonna screw up your whole view on dancing.
yeah,
It's gonna screw up everything.
yeah.
So don't take yourself so serious.
Yeah, this weekend alone, I was doing a spin with someone who's really good. I can't, like I said, sometimes I don't remember who it is. our hands missed connection. All of a sudden, but that person kept spinning, and at the end of their spin, I called him, and we kept going. It looked like it was on purpose.
Hey, shout out. Yeah.
Like he said, communicate. Look at your partner.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the most important thing.
Yeah.
And you're gonna see yourself growing from that.
Mm-hmm.
I think a big thing as well. If like you was the lead, don't act like it was an error or a mistake.
Right.
A lot
Just
of
keep
times
dancing.
People,
Just
a lot of times people won't even pick it up.
same thing
man.
with performers. If you fall, get up and keep going.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Same thing with social dancing.
Yeah.
Just keep going.
Just keep going, man.
The show keeps going.
Yeah, exactly.
Keep going, man.
That's a
Yep.
big thing.
That's
man.
very true.
Yeah, shout
very
out.
very true.
I want to ask you this, man. What advice would you give, your 20-year-old self?
Wow.
I have so many.
All right, so
I got so many.
Go harder. that's number one. Go harder.
Wait,
Okay.
20-year-old before dancing?
I mean, I'll make it whatever you want, man.
Oh, go harder.
Go harder. Watch more videos.
Okay.
Like I said, don't take yourself so serious, because when I first started, I was so serious, and that stopped me from doing so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because my biggest fear was, 1, rejection, 2, judgment.
Yeah. Hey.
You know, because
Yeah.
people do judge.
Of course.
Knowingly and unknowingly, people judge you.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing you could do about that. So that was also my biggest fear. Like, especially because I had this one experience. I remember, I'll never forget it. I was dancing at Eiffel. I don't know her name. And before she was dancing with me, she was dancing with some other guy who was way better than me, right? And then she asked me to dance, right? Because she saw me, getting down, grooving. So she asked me to dance, and I felt like, oh, okay, I got something.
Hey.
It was the worst dance ever.
And why you say that, man?
It was the worst. We couldn't because I was so used to doing my own thing. I wasn't so comfortable with partner work. I knew left turn, right turn, cross, right lead. That's it. So after that, I was just kind of doing my own thing. She was waiting for me to just take control. It was horrible. I felt it, she felt it, but she told me, she was like, oh, that was an awesome dance, and I was like, yeah, definitely, we'll dance again. 4 or 5 songs go by, I asked her to dance again. She says no.
Yeah.
As soon as I walk off, someone else asks her, she dances with that
I've been there before.
Dude.
Yeah, I heard it, man.
Mm-hmm.
That was painful.
Yeah.
I've
been there,
dude,
man.
that was painful.
Yeah.
That was painful. So definitely fear of judgment, because even though she's told me I did a good job, in her head, I was a terrible dancer. Terrible dancer.
Yeah.
And maybe if she would have accepted my second dance, that would have helped. But then again, I wouldn't be as motivated. So I'm not saying it's good that she rejected me, but I'm also saying I wish she wouldn't have rejected me.
Right,
I wish she would have at least put me to the side and be like, hey, next time when you dance with somebody, do this or do that, and you messed up here and blah, blah. It don't have to be a 20-minute long conversation. Just 1 or 2 tips. That's it. Okay, cool.
I feel you on that. Is that something that we do at socials?
Gotta be honest, it's not easy giving people advice.
It's not.
Because not
It's
everyone
not.
takes it well.
Yeah.
Not everyone takes it well, and I gotta
Yeah.
be honest. If I was you in that instance, I wouldn't give you advice because that's how it's like. Some people will be like, "I already know,"
Mm-hmm.
and some people will be like, "Teach me."
Okay.
Teach me.
Yeah.
We
Depends on the
have
person.
we have some Latinos in the scene. I literally had someone on Saturday night be like, I danced 3 songs with her. It's like, teach me.
Okay.
Out of it, I taught her a windmill. I taught her how to walk the crossbody. I taught her a few things. And the people who ask, teach, absolutely do it. If they look like they're willing to teach, go right ahead and do it. If they don't want to, just let it go and enjoy the dance.
I've heard people. I heard people like demonize teaching on the dance floor, or just
Yes.
like say you shouldn't do it.
That's true. I've heard that.
Yeah.
Some students don't want to be taught at a social setting.
Some people, it's a
If
right.
they ask, of
right,
course. Then if they ask, yeah.
right and the wrong way about
Exactly.
it.
Mm-hmm.
Like if someone like for example, with his wife the other day, I know she's learning. I taught her a little. I explained. I was like, hey, you should do this in this moment. Boom, she took it really well.
Showing up.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just situation.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
It's I think it's like if that person feels like you're worthy enough to show them something, if they feel they respect like your talent level, if you're just
That's true.
it's some random person. It's like, wow, they might take advice from you, but you're still some random dude. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
exactly. You don't
Yeah.
have that history or
Yeah.
that what I'm trying to say. I guess that build up
Yeah.
to get the respect. I guess.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure enough.
you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
So I want to ask you this, man. I know y'all have well, actually, just tell me, what are some of your upcoming events?
We definitely have Balando con Chocolate Parte 2 coming up in July 13th. That's a Saturday. That's a weekender. That's going to be fun. We're going to have Nathan and I always chop up her name, Kyler.
Sorry.
K. They're coming through. They're awesome dancers. They're from Austin. Well, that's where they dance. And honestly, I've met Kayla in Austin. I met Nathan in the Houston Salsa Congress forever ago. And what they're doing in Austin, man, these guys are growing and they're awesome.
Hey.
I mean, they performed here in New Orleans. They performed in Houston, Dallas. I'm sorry, the Dallas Festival. I mean, they're awesome instructors, awesome dancers, awesome performers.
Nathan teaches in Houston.
Yeah.
Kayla teaches as well. Not in Houston, but
in Austin.
Okay, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Please correct me, but I believe she told me she taught at last year's Bachata Fest.
She did.
Okay, I
Her,
thought she told me that.
Nathan and her taught a class.
That's what she told me.
I forget. I think it was a bachata class.
Okay, I had her on the show recently, man. So yeah,
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome. Cool people.
I thought she told me that.
Yeah, we're very excited. They're very
Yeah,
excited.
yeah.
We talk all the time, and we're all cool, man. And it's just gonna be a fun time. It's gonna be a weekend. They're gonna teach a few classes, and then we're just gonna have fun at night, man. We're just gonna come to the Chocolate, have some brownies. I don't want to give too many spoilers, but you definitely, exactly. You'll definitely be fed.
Well, plug it real quick. July 13th.
July 13th is a Saturday night.
Okay, you said weekend is what you mean? Friday, Saturday, Sunday? Or just Saturday?
We call it a weekender because it's all day Saturday. It's just all day Saturday.
Okay.
But if this goes well, we're gonna be planning bigger and bigger.
Okay, awesome.
So this is like the little tester.
Yeah.
So if everything goes smoothly, we got enough students. For the most part, we're planning on other things.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
We already started talking.
And like you said, this is where your money is going. When you give us the charge, when you walk in the door, this is where your money is going.
Okay.
Bigger events, bigger instructors, just more fun themes. Before this one, we had Wakanda, where we bought balloon animals.
Okay.
And
Balloon animals and little stuffed animals.
little stuffed animals. I mean,
yeah.
Your money is going back to you.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? You give us your money, and we make a bigger event for you.
Okay.
That does not go in our pockets. It does not go
everyone.
towards our light bills and liquor bill.
Yeah.
And, you know what I'm saying? This is money going back towards you
That's
guys.
awesome, man.
Yes, very important for us.
That's very awesome, man.
Yeah.
I want to ask you this, man. Real quick, for people who want to get in contact with you or get in touch with you, how can they do that?
Facebook, Instagram.
Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat.
Go ahead and plug all that, please.
Yeah, definitely. Instagram is Genaro, GENAROGQ. All right, that's on Instagram. Facebook is Genaro, GENARO, Nayo, NAYO Gutierrez,
Okay.
GUTIERREZ.
Shout out.
And you'll see me. You know what I'm saying?
I gotta find mine
It's
actually.
all good.
Mine, so my Facebook is Joshua Adams, or if you put Cajun Catracho. So if you're Honduran, you know Catracho means it's like the Boricua version of Honduran. So Cajun Catracho for Facebook, that will work. Or Cajun Catracho all the way will find me on Instagram.
Okay.
But there's no dashes, nothing. Cajun Catracho, one word.
Yeah.
And yeah, you can hit us both up, and we can give you we can tell you about the upcoming events.
Yeah,
Definitely.
When I post them, I'm gonna put all your links in the description. So I got you. On
Awesome.
that. Yeah,
Beautiful.
Of course, man.
Beautiful.
Now I want to just thank you both, man, for taking time out to talk to me, man.
Oh man, thank you,
I really
man, for
appreciate it, man.
making time for us, man.
Oh man,
Definitely
of course,
appreciate
man.
you.
Yeah.
Definitely.
So I guess before we wrap this things up, man, I want to ask you, I have any last things you want to say?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely appreciate. Shout out to everyone who's been supporting us since day one, since Blackout, Chocolate Part 1, GQ night. I mean, we had so many events, I can't even name them all. But everyone who really, because y'all they didn't have to be there Saturday night. They could have been doing something
Right,
else.
right.
You know what I'm saying?
It's a lot of options in New Orleans,
exactly, a lot of options, a lot of time to party, and so everyone who's gone to every single event, to everyone who's been to one event, or everyone who's been to one or two event, like we just appreciate anyone walking through the door, trying to
Right.
keep the scene alive, trying to keep the, you know what I'm saying, everything's peaceful. We never had any fights, any beefs, and people, you know, people just having a good time.
Yeah,
you
too
know what
many
I'm
names
saying?
to name.
Yeah.
The veterans, the newbies, the people in between. Thank y'all. We really do appreciate y'all.
Definitely.
My last little bit of advice: if you see us, ask us to dance.
Okay.
Yes, please do not be afraid.
Hey,
Don't be afraid.
If you see us in Texas, Mississippi, just come right ahead. We're gonna say yes, man or female.
Definitely, yep.
That's what's up, man.
Yep,
Nah,
definitely.
I mean, and I love what you're doing in the city, man. I appreciate it,
that,
especially because
man.
I'm from Soldiers, man.
Appreciate
place
that,
because
man.
there's not that many places,
No.
unfortunately. So,
Definitely.
you know what I'm saying? When y'all do something this much, it's greatly appreciated.
No problem at all, man. Our honor, man. We love it. We love it.
You know what I'm saying? Like I said, thank you so much, man.
Yes, sir.
Then we'll wrap this up, episode 48 of the Two Left Feet podcast.
I love it.
Shout
Yeah.
out. Hey everyone! If you made it this far to all the way to the end of the video, I want to thank you so much. My overall goal with making these interviews and these episodes is to give a voice to dancers. You know, to give them a platform to speak their story. So, if this is of value to anyone, then that means the world to me. My overall goal is to give value to the dance community. So, if you find no value in this, then I urge you to please let me know where I can improve on. I truly want to, just give value and content to the dance community. So please let me know how I can improve, where I'm messing up, because to be 100% honest with you, I'm learning along the way as I do this. I truly am. So to be able to interact with the dance community, it means the world to me because it gives me feedback and it lets me know what I'm doing right, where I can improve upon, what I'm doing wrong, which I feel like might be more important. So please, if you all could comment and just let me know what you think, it means the world to me because that feedback just helps me improve. So please comment as well. Please like and subscribe. That means a lot as well. But I want to say thank you so much for just watching this because it means the world to me. I want to take you on this journey of the Two Left Feet podcast. I'm very excited for it. So once again, thank you so much.